Deep in the ocean, in a coral reef, lived a happy dolphin named Daisy. She loved to blow bubbles. Not just any bubbles, magical bubbles. Her bubbles would float all the way up to the surface, pop, and then rain down shimmering, sparkling water. All the fish in the reef loved to play in Daisy's bubbles. One day, Daisy had an idea. She wanted to throw a sea talent show. "I'll call it," she says, "blowing a bubble ring, the greatest show-off in the sea." All the creatures of the reef could take part. The angelfish could display their beautiful colors. The seahorses could show off their fancy dancing. The clownfish could perform their synchronized swimming routine. And of course, Daisy would end the show with her spectacular bubble performance. She spent weeks making colorful posters with bubble rings, then hung them all around the reef. On the day of the show, all the creatures of the reef gathered together. Even a grumpy octopus named Inky, who normally spent his days hiding in his den, came out to watch. Daisy was so happy to see everyone. "Welcome to the greatest show-off in the sea," she said, her voice echoing through the water. First, the angelfish swam forward, their scales shimmering in the light. Then the seahorses swayed back and forth in their fancy underwater dance. Next, the clownfish zoomed through the water in their synchronized swimming routine. The audience, that's all of the other fish, clapped and cheered for each act. They were so good. But there was one fish who wasn't very happy. It was Inky the octopus. He thought his act was much better than the others, but he didn't get a chance to perform. He grumbled and pouted as Daisy prepared for her big finale. My turn," he shouted. Daisy couldn't hear him over the roaring applause. She blew a giant bubble ring, then swam through it. She blew another bubble ring, but this one popped too soon. She tried again, but this time her throat felt scratchy and the bubble came out as a weak puff. "Oh, no," she thought, "I've lost my voice." She tried to speak, but only a squeak came out. How could she possibly perform without her voice? All the other creatures were ready, and it was too late to cancel the show. She had to think of something, and she had to think fast. Suddenly, she had an idea. She took a deep breath, then blew a huge bubble. It was the biggest bubble any of the fish had ever seen. It floated all the way to the surface and popped. Then it began to rain, not with water, but with shimmering, sparkling dust. All the fish gasped as the dust fell over the reef. It looked like magic. Daisy had saved the show, but she knew it wouldn't have been possible without Inky. After all, it was his grumbling that made her think of the perfect finale. So before blowing her final bubble, she swam over to Inky and said, "Thank you." Then she blew her bubble, a giant thank you bubble. All the fish cheered as the bubble floated away. And from that day on, Daisy made sure to include Inky in all of her shows.